Hi, welcome everyone. We are the math department here. Um, and we'll just wait, I think we'll wait a little bit. We'll introduce ourselves while waiting for everyone to connect to the audio. But I am Yulong Chang, and as we introduce ourselves, I'm just going to actually display this kind of math offering, just so you can kind of see the different classes and what classes we teach. I'm Yulong Chang, and I teach the Honors Algebra 2 Trig class, as well as Pre-Calculus Honors for students going to STEM, and Calculus and the 2 AP Calculus courses.
I'm Daniel Alves, and I teach geometry and honors geometry.
I'm Jillian Loftus, and I teach Algebra 1A and Algebra 2 Trigonometry.
I'm Kirk Demlinger, and I teach Algebra 2 Trig Honors, Pre-Calculus, and Statistics.
And then there are actually two teachers who are not here right now. Miss Carol Pineda is also in the science department, and so you might have seen her already. She teaches Algebra 1. And then Miss Courtney Rosen she just had her baby a couple of weeks ago, so she's on maternity leave, but her baby's so cute. All right, so as you can see here, this is our math departmental class offerings. Our main thing is that we try to teach by a learn by doing approach to really build those critical thinking skills to prepare students for both college as well as the future, and to really have that confidence to solve difficult problems, whether they're math problems or real life problems. You can see these are the classes right here. Typically, a student who has not taken algebra before will start in either Algebra 1 or Algebra 1A. Algebra 1A covers the same material. However it goes, it skips a few of the harder word problems, but still covers the same material at a slower pace so that students can understand and master the material better. From there, students can go on to one of the geometry courses. A student who has already taken Algebra 1 in 8th grade can take a placement test and, along with teacher recommendation, be placed into geometry as a freshman. And then you can see that the next column over, we have the Algebra 2 classes. You can take Algebra 2 Trig Honors, Algebra 2 Trig, or just Algebra 2, depending on kind of your interest in math. Same thing with the next column over, you have the Pre-Calculus classes as well as statistics. So depending on what fits your needs better in the future, whether you're going into the STEM field, whether you want to go into, for example, economics or business, and you want that statistics background, we have a class for all of you. As well as, and then furthermore, there are the calculus courses. In addition, we have a lot of electives, including Intro to Computer Science, AP Computer Science, as well as AP Stats. Our basically approach is that we want to have students learn by doing. The students are, if you look into our classes, they're always engaged, they're always working, they're either working together, they're working on their own, trying to solve a critical problem that they're trying to deal with. There's a lot of collaboration. Students will typically use a variety of different applications on their iPads, as well as the graphing calculator, to really master that material. We have a lot of courses, whether you're a student interested in going into STEM or you're a student who just needs a little more support in math. We have that. Whether it's the support from peer tutors, we have a resource center, we have classes that are designed to support you more as well. We use a variety of different applications in the classroom. As you can see here, some of you may have already used Notability or Desmos, but basically the reason why we use all of these applications is because that way, even though right now we are in distance learning and we're in the process of transitioning to in-person learning. However, students aren't missing out on anything because it's distance learning, because of all of our apps that we're using here. We're going to introduce a couple of different apps that we use. For example, Notability basically can be used to take notes. It's great for exit ticket problems. If you want to work something out, the Notability has a lot of great options. For example, you can add graph paper to it. You can make straight lines. You can actually draw curves on Notability as well. Desmos is just amazing because you're able to graph basically anything, whether it's something that's like a y equals. You'll notice here there are inequalities. You can graph implicit functions. For example, this one where it says 2x minus 3y is greater than or equal to -6. Basically what it does is it turns all the like crazy math symbols that you see into something more visual so that you can actually know what's going on when we're giving you these equations. We also use a variety of different simulation tools. The one on the left basically simulates what a cosine graph looks like in relation to a circle. So that is a part of trigonometry, which you will be taking at some point in high school. And it basically gives you a more visual way of picturing the math and the algebra that you're seeing in the class. To help you understand it better. The one on the right shows another example of a more difficult calculus concept where a student can actually play around with it on Desmos. You'll see that's Desmos to kind of see what does the calculus look like graphically. EdPuzzle is another tool that we use. Basically, teachers are we're able to either make our own videos or find a really good YouTube video. We can put it into EdPuzzle, and then we can also ask like short little questions like you can see right here. After a teacher goes over an example, like you see in the video, there is a quick question just so that we are able to check and make sure that you understand it. And if you don't, we're here to help you. Speaking of helping you, we also use Classkick. It's when we were initially in distance learning, right, it's really difficult because we can't see the students' work, we can't see students face to face. However, we have adapted Classkick, which is a way for teachers to be able to see the student's screen and to be able to give feedback in real time as you're working. If you take a look on the left, that's an example of Classkick used in AP Computer Science, where the students are writing code and then the teacher can actually grade it just on the spot, and then the student can get immediate feedback. No one can see this except for you and the teacher, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, is everyone else seeing my score? So this is just between you and the teacher. On the right-hand side is Pear Deck. It's another way for us to be able to connect better with you digitally. For example, giving short little quizzes or practice problems. Quizlet is another tool that we use in terms of, some of you have used Quizlet in the past for like flashcards in order to study for a test. Teachers have made Quizlets in the past as well, and students have made Quizlets in order to better prepare for a test. And you might think even like for math, that's kind of weird, but Quizlet is actually really helpful. You can see here that this is an example of probability and statistics with rolling 2 different dice, and you can see physically what's going on. We also use Alex, which is an online adaptive computer program that helps first determine kind of, okay, what are the areas you need to work on the most in math, and then it'll give you practice problems with that. We mainly use that to kind of bridge any gaps that you might have. Let's say you took 8th grade math, and then there were like 2 or 3 concepts that you didn't quite get then, and then now you're going to be in 9th grade, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Alex is able to help you kind of fill in the gaps so that you are prepared for the next level of math. We also have, so the iPad Notability is amazing for screen recordings. You can see here, this is an example of actually Miss Jillian Loftus explaining a slope-intercept form and how to write equations. And teachers can use that to present material to students so that students can watch it at their own pace. I've had students make their own videos as well and share with other students. So it's a very collaborative environment. I'll just play a little bit of this.
Equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Right,
so you'll notice that, let's say you just forgot, how to find the slope of points. Then you're able to watch this video at your own pace and to figure that out. Or you can also ask any of the teachers as well during class. So it gives you a lot of options. Some students are better learning independently. Some students like to ask a lot of questions, and we try to address all of that. Okay.
Is that slope?
This is the slide that gives everyone trouble. All right, so that is it for our presentation. Thank you all for coming. Does anyone have any questions or comments? If you have any questions, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask, or you can just ask it in chat as well.